Good day, everyone. My name is Monte, and today my partner Francis Plaza and I will discuss the Katarungang Pambarangay Law. I will be the first one to present. Before we dive into the details, let's take a look at our objectives for this week. At the end of this week, the pre-service teacher should be able to first, explain the background and importance of the Katarungang Pambarangay Law, internalize the key roles and responsibilities of barangay officials in the implementation of the law, and lastly is to identify the basic steps involved in the conflict resolution process under the law. The Katarungang Pambarangay is a system of dispute resolution institute in all barangays in the Philippines that seeks to promote, among others, the speedy administration of justice by providing all avenues to an amicable settlement, thereby considerably reducing the dockets in our courts of justice. The Katarungang Pambarangay focuses on promoting harmony and understanding among neighbors, making it easier for people to live together peacefully. That instead of going to court, people can settle their disagreements through this system, which encourage them to talk and find peaceful solutions. The goal is to reduce the number of cases in the courts by allowing community members to resolve their issues right where they live. This way, conflicts can be settled quickly and without the need for a lengthy legal process. Back in 1976, a Supreme Court Justice named Fred Ruiz Castro had an idea. He wanted to create a better way for people to solve their problems without going to court. He believed that local communities should have their own methods to settle disputes peacefully. This idea was the beginning of what we now know as the Katarungang Pambarangay. In 1978, the government took a big step forward when it issued the Presidential Decree number 1293. This decree encouraged a study to explore the different ways to resolve disputes. The aim was to find effective and efficient method that would help people in their everyday lives. Later, that same year, another important decree, Presidential Decree number 1508, was put into action. The decree officially established the Katarungang Pambarangay system under the leadership of President Ferdinand Marcos. The government recognized the importance of having a local system for resolving conflicts, which allowed communities to take charge of their own issues. Fast forward to 1991 when a new law called Republic Act number 7160 was created. This law changed things again by repealing the earlier decrees but keep the spirit of Katarungang Pambarangay alive. It incorporated the principles of this dispute resolution system into the local government codes, making it a part of the way local governments operate. This law exists for several key reasons. First, it aims to provide accessible justice at the community level. This means that people don't have to travel far or deal with complicated legal processes to resolve their problems. Instead, they can find help right where they live. Second, the law helps reduce court backlogs. Many minor disputes can be settled locally, which means fewer cases end up in the courts. This helps the judicial system run more smoothly and efficiently. Third, the law strengthens community ties. By encouraging peaceful conflict resolution, it brings neighbors together to solve their issues amicably. This not only resolves dispute but also fosters a sense of unity and cooperation among community members. Finally, it minimizes litigation costs and delays. Going to court can be expensive and take a long time. The Katarungang Pambarangay law allows people to settle their differences without financial burden and waiting time that comes with formal legal proceedings. The members of Katarungang Pambarangay play an important role in helping to resolve disputes in the community. Let's look at each of them and what they do. First, we have the Punong Barangay or the Barangay Captain. This person is the head of the system and takes charge of the mediation process. The barangay captain leads to discussions between the parties involved in a dispute, helping them to find common grounds and reach an agreement. Next, there is the Lupon Tagapamayapa, which is also known as the Peace Council. This group assists barangay captain in resolving disputes. They help mediate, which means they listen to both sides and guide them in finding a peaceful solution. Their goal is to ensure that everyone feels heard and understood. Then we have the pangkat ng tagapagkasundo or the conciliation panel. So this panel consists of 3 chosen members by the people involved in the dispute. These members act as facilitators during the conciliation process, helping to keep the conversation respectful and productive. Their job is to encourage dialogue and support the parties in reaching a solution or resolution. Finally, there is the barangay secretary. This person is responsible for keeping records of the proceedings, which means they write down what they listen during the meetings and decisions made. They also prepare notices to inform people about the meetings and handle various administrative tasks to keep everything organized. Disputes handled by the Katarungang Pambarangay. One type of case it covers is property disputes, which are disagreements about land or belongings. It also deals with family conflicts such as issues between relatives or spouse. Neighbor disputes are another common case, where people living close to each other have disagreements. Additionally, it can handle minor criminal offenses, specifically those that can lead to less than a year in jail or fines under 5,000 pesos. However, there are some cases that Katarungang Pambarangay cannot handle. For example, cases that involve public interest or government agencies are excluded. If one person involved lives in a different city or municipality, the Katarungang Pambarangay cannot take the case. And lastly, any case that needs immediate court action, like getting a temporary restraining order, also cannot be handled by this system.
Attorney Yang, musta? Attorney Yang, ano ang mga kaso na hindi kailangan dumaan sa Barangay Lupon? Naalala niyo po nung nakaraang episode na ang amicable settlement na pinirmahan niyo sa harap ng Barangay Lupon ay may kapareho puwersa o epekto ng isang desisyon ng korte? Totoo po yun. Kaya po gusto ko siyang ulit-ulitin po sa inyo, ikalat po yung impormasyon na ito para malaman niyo na doon pa lang sa barangay level, hindi na kayo kailangan gumastos pa ng abogado. Doon pa lang po sa barangay barangay level, ang mga hidwaan o yung mga konfliko ninyo ay maaaring marisolba na sa barangay level pa lamang. Ibig sabihin, the moment na may amicable settlement, ito ay may kaparehong puwersa at epekto ng isang desisyon ng korte. Yun na, dun pa lang, tapos na ang laban. Yun yung sinasabi ko po nung nakaraan. Yun ay kung alam nyo po yung karapatan ninyo, alam nyo po kung paano, ano ang gagawin, paano nyo i-enforce ang isang amicable settlement. Ngayon, ang daming nagtatanong, ano po ba ang mga kasong pasok sa barangay lupon o ano ang mga kasong hindi na kailangan dumaan sa barangay lupon? Okay, ito po ang sagot. Meron tayong Katarungang Pambarangay Law under Presidential Decree 1508 na ipinasa noong 1978. Inamendahan ito ng Local Government Code of 1991 kung saan inuutos ng batas na ito na ang Katarungang Pambarangay ay may otoridad na hawakan lahat ng kaso. Again, lahat ng kaso o dispute between parties bago sila mag-issue ng Certificate to File Action o yung tinatawag nating CFA. Ang sagot po dyan ay lahat except, ito po, kung ang kaalitan mo ay gobyerno o kaya government subdivision o kaya government instrumentality, hindi mo na kailangan dumaan pa sa Katarungang Pambarangay. Hindi mo na kailangan dumaan pa sa lupon. Halimbawa, ide-demolish na ang bahay mo, ide-demolish na yung lugar nyo, hindi ka na kailangan dumaan pa sa barangay para magpa-mediate. Ang kailangan mo ay immediate relief no, ng TRO, Temporary Restraining Order. Pangalawa, labor dispute. Kung labor dispute ito ay ang hidwaan ay nag-arise from an employer-employee relationship, no? Employer ang kaalitan mo or ikaw employee ang kaalitan mo. Hindi mo na kailangan dumaan sa barangay dahil meron tayong labor, meron tayong dole. Gawin mo lang, pumunta ka lang sa malapit na satellite office ng dole para i-address ang iyong labor dispute. Pangatlo, kung ang nirereklamo mo ay isang public official, hindi ka na kailangan dumaan sa barangay. Pangapat, kung ito ay isang offense involving imprisonment exceeding 1 year or a fine of more than 5,000 pesos. Panglima, no private offended party. Halimbawa, nahulihan ka ng possession of deadly weapon o kaya possession of illegal drugs. So, hindi mo na kailangan pang pumunta sa barangay para i-mediate kayo ng parties dahil wala namang private offended party. Pang-anim, kung ang mga partido ay nakatira sa magkahiwalay na munisipyo o syudad, hindi po kailangan na idaan sa barangay. Pang-pito, kung ang property involved sa dispute ay located sa magkaibang munisipyo or syudad. Pang-walo, kung ang akusado ay nakadetain na, hindi mo na kailangan dumaan na barangay para i-mediate. At pang-siyam, ito ay mga habeas corpus proceedings. Tanong, paano kung wala kayo doon sa exceptions na sinabi natin ngayon lang? Ibig sabihin, ang mga partido ay kailangan magharap muna sa barangay para i-mediate ang mga dispute for possible amicable settlement. At sa oras na makuha nyo yung amicable settlement, sinasabi ko sa inyo, ito ay kaparehong katumbas ng isang pwersa at epekto or effect ng isang desisyon ng korte. Pag nasa oras na hindi yun matupad ng isang partido ang kanyang obligasyon na ayon sa amicable settlement, pwede nyo po yun i-enforce within 6 months sa barangay, after 6 months doon na sa municipal trial court. Doon pa lang napaiksi na yung proseso dahil meron na kayong amicable settlement doon. Hindi na kayo kailangan pumunta sa korte para mag-file, magkumuha ng abogado para mag-file pa. Kasi kung alam nyo lang na doon pa lang sa barangay level, pwede nyo lang makuha ang relief na gusto nyo. Kung alam nyo lang paano gagamitin ang procedure sa Katarungang Pambarangay Law, then malaki na po ang maitutulong nito sa inyo. At syempre, kung hindi kayo magkakaayos ng mga partido, maaari nang mag-issue ang lupon sa inyo ng Certificate to File Action. Always remember, God is blessing us so we can be a blessing to others. This is your friend in the neighborhood Attorney Young.
It's time for our second knowledge check. Ready your 1/4 sheet of paper.